on a tree, all over and across the land. Oh my heart, she wake, 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 and ocean she wake. Oh my heart, she wake, 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 and ocean she wake.
Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and as always, it's a pleasure to be in your company today. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon. So, before we dive into today's subject, I'm going to go ahead and throw out the ways that you can become a part of the show. The telephone numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages and calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also find us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974 and on our YouTube channels. And you can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. And of course, you can listen by way of radio. A huge welcome to our audience here in New Providence, our audience listening in from Grand Bahama, from all of the family islands that are tuning in, and all of you outside the Bahamas who have decided to take some time out of your busy schedule to be a part of GPS this afternoon. A huge welcome to one and all. I see Pastor James Lowe is watching from Nassau, Bahamas. James Cartwright Lowe, welcome to you, Pastor Lowe. And I also see Loretta Smith is wishing one and all a good afternoon. Good afternoon to you both. And to anyone else who's tuned in, thanks so much for being a part of GPS this afternoon. All right, so I'm treating today's show as a Hot Topic Tuesday. We're going to deal with one specific topic. It's not like an open line show where, we talk about anything and everything. We're going to talk about one topic today, just one. And this is truly a hot topic, Lord knows, because it seems to be getting hotter and hotter each day as more and more developments are unveiled. What am I talking about? I am talking about this whole conundrum that the Minister of Immigration finds himself in. As you may or may not be aware, there was this protest on Bay Street yesterday where the Free National Movement members came out to protest asking for the resignation of the Minister of Immigration. And the PLP supporters came out in support of the Minister of Immigration, saying he don't need to go no place because he ain't break no law. And the Minister of Immigration mum on the issue, saying that he gonna say what he got to say on Wednesday. So yeah, this is getting interestinger and interestinger as the days go by because there seems to be new revelations about this whole question of Minister Keith Bell's performance as Minister of Immigration. So to bring people up to speed, those of you who may be watching but not knowing what's going on here in the country, this sort of started when a tape that was secretly taping the minister at a funeral service, issuing a certificate of citizenship to the widow and children of a Haitian national who had apparently been living in the Bahamas for a couple of decades. And according to what the minister said, was granted citizenship just before he died. And the minister claims that on his dying bed, he asked the minister if he would do him the favor of granting citizenship to his wife and children in his presence before he died. Well, he apparently died before that was able to happen. So the minister decided to do something in his own words that was unorthodox and decided at a funeral, at the man's funeral, to make this announcement that he was fulfilling this dead man's wishes by making his widow and children citizens of the Bahamas. Now, apparently, he had asked that nobody take this because, as he said, this is unorthodox. Well, somebody obviously taped it, recorded it, and the recording was made public and went viral. And this is where the controversy began. It has since evolved to include another apparently unorthodox action on the part of the minister involving some Chinese nationals. So, just to bring everybody up to speed, I'm going to play a clip from a newscast explaining what the Chinese connection is as it relates to this whole controversy that is now, really getting out of hand as it relates to the actions or alleged actions of one Minister of Immigration, Mr. Keith Bell. So this is a report that would have aired, I think, last week with regard to this whole controversy now over these Chinese nationals. And once again, the Minister of Immigration's name is being called when it relates to an orthodox action surrounding immigration. So check this out.
A controversial situation involving the British colonial Hilton Hotel, its Chinese workers, and the Immigration Department, which unfolded in January of this year, making headlines this week as the opposition Free National Movement maintains that the Immigration Minister, Keith Bell, unlawfully called for the release of the Chinese workers from the detention center after immigration officers were reportedly ordered to remove the workers from the resort compound due to work permit irregularities.
Whilst the irregularities required immediate action, it was determined that given all of the circumstances, taking the persons at the detention center was unnecessary. The irregularities found at the site could and were expeditiously cured by the employer.
And according to Bell, that means the case is closed. The question is, though, who sent the order down to have the workers rounded up?
Not your immigration department that rounded them up. Was it not your immigration department that rounded them up?
While Bell refused to give comment, sources close to the saga suggest that a senior immigration official handed down the order. Bell did admit, though, that he approved for the workers to be released from the detention center so that they could get back to work to ensure that the hotel is reopened to support heads and beds for the tourism product.
The completion of the renovation works at the British colonial property will address and add critically needed hotel rooms on New Providence and create additional employment and opportunities for Bahamians.
And just to be clear, Bell explains how heads of agreements between government and hotel developments usually work.
It is important to note that the employer, as with almost every other major hotel redevelopment, has a heads of agreement with the government of the Bahamas to permit the temporary importation of foreign construction workers.
Now, most times, those heads of agreements outline an 80 to 20% ratio, 80% Bahamian contractors with 20% foreign workers. Bell says he hopes that this explanation today puts this 6-month-old saga to bed.
Well, apparently, that hope has not been realized, because a letter has since surfaced, a memorandum, I should say, surrounding this whole Chinese saga. And apparently, that memorandum landed in the hands of the leader of the opposition, Michael Pintard, who, along with his colleagues, held a press conference to call for the resignation of Bell based on yet another, what appears to be unorthodox action on his part. So I'm going to go ahead, because I've also received a copy of the memo. I'm going to go ahead and read this so that you, my audience, will be up to speed as to what took place here. This is directed to the attention of Faustine Major Smith, Deputy Director of Immigration, Bahamas Immigration Department. It was written on the 18th of January, 2023, with the reference 65 Chinese nationals / British Colonial Hotel. And the memorandum reads, Madam, on the 17th January 2023 at approximately 2000 hours, the enforcement unit, under my direction, investigated information received of a large group of Chinese nationals being housed at the closed British Colonial Hotel on Bay Street. On arrival at the hotel, we observed lighting and clothing hung in the windows of some of the rooms. Shortly thereafter, we noticed an Asian male in the window of one of the rooms. Based on this, we approached the security officer and advised him of our suspicions. The officer attempted to obstruct us from entering the building and checking the status of the individual. And therefore, I advised him under extreme caution that I was prepared to arrest him for obstruction, and I instructed the officers to search the first floor of the building. In the initial search, the officers reported a total of 10 to 12 persons, but after a more intense search, we were able to gather approximately 65 Chinese nationals. All subjects were asked to produce their passports and any other evidence of legal status. Out of the 65 subjects, only 3 were able to produce passports or identification. All the others claimed they had no passports in their possession and was unable to contact the person who may have them. Note the following. The permit issuance system indicated that Mr. Bowen Zhao, date of birth 17th April 1997, place of birth Jingshu, China, passport, they put the passport number, had a short-term permit as a technician sponsored by Latoya Camp of Margaritaville Beach Resort. The short-term permit was issued from the 17th of April 2022 to the 23rd of April 2022. Note that no further request was made on subject's behalf, and based on this, he has overstayed approximately 9 months. Please note that the Border Control Management System verifies the same. Mr. P. Fang Yan, date of birth 26 December 75, place of birth Heilongjiang, China, I won't say the passport number, entered the Bahamas on Bahamas Air, UP number 212, from Havana, Cuba, on the 7th of September 2022, and was landed for 1 month, which expired 7th of October 2022. No extension was granted. The permit issuance system shows that subject did possess a short-term permit for New World 1 Bay Street, which expired 20th of August 2020. It appears that subject departed the Bahamas and re-entered as a visitor. Subject has overstayed approximately 4 months. Mr. Jiwei Zhu, date of birth 28 January 1994, place of birth Hunan, China, I again won't read the passport number, entered the Bahamas 15th November 2022 on board Bahamas Air UP number 212 from Havana, Cuba, and was landed for a period of 10 days, which expired 25th of November 2022. Subject has now overstayed approximately 24 days. As stated previously, the remainder of the subjects could not produce any documents to prove their identity. The memo further reads, Madam, as you are aware, I contacted you and your instruction was to have all subjects arrested and detained at the Carmichael Road Detention Center. However, I would have received a phone call from the director to hold on taking persons into custody. All subjects were left at the property as instructed, submitted for your information and action. Signed, Chad D. Adams, Chief Immigration Officer, Enforcement Unit. Okay. Now, we also have a clip. This one with the Free National Movement claiming during a press conference that they were in possession of a memo, and based on the evidence that they have seen, they believe that they were in their rights to call for the resignation of Bell. Here now is that clip from the Free National Movement's press conference.
Immigration Minister Keith Bell facing a number of serious allegations being made by the opposition during a press conference on Sunday. This stemming from a matter which happened in January when Bell reportedly ordered for 62 of 65 undocumented Chinese nationals to return to work at the British Colonial Hotel. But according to a memo that Pintard read, which he says was written by Immigration Director Keturah Roll, Bell's actions were deemed inappropriate.
I find it very disconcerting when directives of this nature are continuously received. This type of action is demoralizing to the immigration officers in particular, who are trying to do their jobs as mandated by law.
Based on that memo, immigration officials fear that other crimes could be at play.
This is a security breach, as we do not have any idea who the remaining 62 persons are, nor how they entered our country. In addition, it begs the question of if trafficking in persons may be a factor in this instance.
Although Bell asserted to reporters at Cabinet last week that the Chinese workers being housed at the detention center was not necessary, immigration officials beg to differ.
I believe that a better outcome would have been realized if the officers were allowed to take the persons into custody on last evening and process the individuals so that we could have known who was in the group and possibly if anyone was being victimized or perhaps trafficked.
Now, sources close to Eyewitness News revealed that a senior immigration official who ordered for the workers to be rounded up has been placed on leave, but that's a decision that the opposition leader is taking grave exception to.
While we need talent and real gatekeepers, policymakers who are temporary are seeking to gut the system of people who are willing to stand up for the Bahamas.
And making matters worse, Pintard says, is that the immigration minister happens to also be the Minister of Labor.
If you are a senior officer today who have been put on leave, and some have been put on leave, and they have filed a labor dispute, they are going to the very ministry that is adjudicating all of these matters.
That aside, Pintard outlined a number of other immigration violations that he says are happening under Bell's watch.
Approvals are granted oftentimes without interviews being conducted.
Now, Bell has promised to address immigration-related questions in the House of Assembly on Wednesday, but Pintard maintains that handing in a resignation letter is the only appropriate thing for the immigration minister to do.
The case that we laid out today, it's indefensible. The minister, what explanation is the minister going to come up with when his officers are saying that somebody has been detained, restricted, and nevertheless he's ordered the approval of a work permit for somebody?
Okay. I'm going to take a break, because my producer's telling me I have to take a break now. So let's take this break. On the other side of the break, I'm going to play the clip from the protest on Bay Street, because as I would have said at the opening of the show, supporters of the Free National Movement showed up to call for Mr. Bell's resignation, and supporters of the Progressive Liberal Party showed up to, I guess, show their support for Minister Bell. So we have these two opposing sides. And then I'm going to play a clip with the former leader of the Free National Movement questioning the timeline from the first controversy regarding the minister and the Haitian nationals. Remember now, we got two issues going on here. First, it started off as the Haitian affair, now it's the Chinese affair. So let's take I know it's a lot to unravel, all right? I just breaking it down bit by bit by bit so we could get into it. So let's take this break. Then we come back, we're going to look at the protest, and then we're going to hear the arguments put forward by Hubert Minnis with regard to the timeline involved in the Haitian affair. And then we're going to talk about all of this and what this means. So stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for a rims, paint, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
And welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. We're treating today's show as a hot Topic Tuesday. And the hot topic today is immigration, and more specifically, the Minister of Immigration, Keith Bell. So here are the numbers that you can call if you want to be a part of the conversation today. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or 8010271. That's a WhatsApp number for messages and calls. 8010271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. If you haven't already done so, please like and share the show. We're also streaming live to YouTube, and we are on Cable Bahamas channel 974. Alternatively, you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. Of course, we are also on radio. A huge welcome to our audience here in New Providence, in Grand Bahama, throughout the family of islands, here in the archipelago of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and of course, all of you who are listening or watching from outside the Bahamas, a huge welcome. Okay, so before I dive back into the clips, oh boy, let me read a couple of your comments. These are comments coming in on Facebook. So Loretta says, I don't care to listen to anything Mr. Bell has to say. The way he's carrying on, he thinks he's above the law. Let's see who else is commenting. Marvin says, a blind person could see he's running a human smuggling operation. Kentaro is asking the question, Bahamas government smuggling people now, what next? I really don't think y'all should say that's the government, but anyway. Wolverine says, the words of the day, compromised integrity. Bertha says she is listening. I see several of you just saying good afternoon, good afternoon. Okay, good afternoon to you all. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
It's Malcolm.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, we're listening.
Huh?
We're listening, caller. Go ahead, talk. Caller.
Hello.
Yes, we're listening. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
It can be this can be settled tomorrow.
Okay.
So tomorrow, nothing coming out of this. And when he brings his facts, tomorrow, the heirs of the nation will twing and listen to whatever we have to say. Because I try to wonder and figure out if this is the same Mr. Pentard and Mr. Menace who sit down and let that man sign a false document right in front of them. I ain't make no noise then. They are still looking for the contract, what the man signed. If Dr. Menace could find that, then I will support him. It's the same Michael Pentard when Dr. Sands and the former National Security was asked, the people was asking them to resign. Full okay. Was asking them to resign. He ain't say nothing then. So why these people are playing with the Bahamian people them and stuff like that? He making all of these noise now, but he wasn't making no noise back then. Dr. Miner should be the last one when he said his own self, you all Bahamian, I can take care of you all next when we get back in office. Where all the money gone for feeding the poor people them? Huh? Tell Dr. Miner, find the contract from the Indian man, and then he could talk. He's in no position Him know Mr. Pinta. Take it, live, waste the talk. They should be shamed. And he, Michael should go sit down. Thank you.
All right. I assume when you say the contract that went missing, you're talking about the OBAN contract that went missing out of the office of the Prime Minister when the gentleman signed somebody else's name. Listen, let me just say this regard to that caller. I agree with you that the F&M had its own share of scandals and controversies that should have required resignations as well. Let's just be real. In a way, you should have been able to try to justify somebody signing the wrong name on the signature of a contract that you call big press conference for, and then go turn around and say, "Oh, it was just ceremonial, so it wasn't necessary for him to put his real name." Listen. I argue against that. Some head should roll there. That whole controversy with regard to what did he name? Toki and Bobo and whatever they name, and Michael Pinta, I agree with that. The F&M got enough of their own challenges as it relates to situations that required or should have resulted in resignations. Shucks, they got someone in the courts right now who's sitting next to them. But in his situation, they say innocent until proven guilty. But that's neither here nor there. Okay? So, I hear what you're saying, caller. I agree with you that they got plenty of challenges of their own. But two wrongs don't make a right. And just because they didn't do anything to correct their wrongs and we allowed them to get away with it, doesn't mean that we should not be paying attention to what seems to be wrongdoing now. A part of our problem in this country is we can only see the wrong when it is allegedly being perpetrated by the people who are not in our tribe. So right now, the F&Ms are all up in arms about Bell should step down, but they had nothing to say, but all the people who should have stepped down who was wearing red. I agree with you. 1,000%. But that don't mean that we supposed to give anybody wearing yellow a pass because we let the people in red get away with the foolishness they was doing. See, this what got this country in this position we in right now. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Ms. Maldon.
Hi.
It would appear, well, at least to me, that both political parties, they work hard in opposition. They do a good job when they're in opposition. But it really looks bad when we keep defending people when they're doing nonsense because they're in our party.
Exactly.
Over and over we've seen it. I wondered why, when they was calling for we Alfred Gray to resign for stepping in on a legal matter where he shouldn't have, the PLP didn't want him to resign. The good gentleman from Marathon, I can't even, Fitzgerald, the PLP didn't want him to resign. Terry Christie kept him. Dr. Minnis did all he could until the last nail knock to protect Militia Roll and to protect whoever allowed the plane to come down, because Dr. Sands shouldn't have been the only one to resign at that, but Minnis didn't like him. And now we're seeing this thing unfold with Keith Bell. One man shouldn't, or two, should not cause the party all this grief. What is so difficult with asking Minister Bell to sit small until we get this thing clear? I just don't understand what's going on. He made himself a target when he got in the house and brought out that whole $10,000 mirror deal. Therefore, they ain't gonna let this go. You done throw an egg on their face, and now they got you in your hand in the proverbial cookie jar, so to speak. And I think the leader need to step in, ask him to sit down. That's my opinion. It doesn't matter which party you from, man. Wrong, still wrong. I with you on that.
Exactly.
Outcome. And
Exactly.
these leaders need to stop covering wrong because it's their party. He could come back election day for 4 years. He could take a 1.5 year break, maybe 2. But come back, but come on, just needs some type of discipline from the leader. And I just love how Dr. Millis can wait now, eh? My goodness, when I heard him read out those questions, Miss Malcolm, I was impressed. I said if only the good doctor could hire that person, whoever put that together for him, hire them to figure out what went wrong with the feeding program money. Because they would bring results.
But you know, what's so amazing?
With the Oban funds.
You know, it's so amazing, caller.
Put that together for him.
You know, it's so amazing.
These guys, they could wait when they're in opposition, but when they come to government, it's like they king, everybody here gets wing, and we just do what we would do. And
let me just say this, caller. You're talking about. Let me just say this. You talking about how it's amazing how Minister doing such a good job now. You know, he did do a good job. You know, putting the case together yesterday with regard to the timeline, and it was asking all these questions. But what I find amazing is when he was sitting in the seat of leadership, he answered one question. Yeah, it was brought to him in front of in the House of Assembly.
I tell you, they good at opposition.
Not one.
They good at opposition and my fellow behaviors.
But again, just because they did wrong,
Yeah. It's too hot.
Say that again?
I say it's too hot to be downtown freaking out. This one gotta go, that one gotta go. Look at Adrian Gibson. When the PLP was saying this before the election, half of them could have just asked them to sit down. They would have still win Long Island. You know Long Island is half of them country. But it's like we don't want discipline these people at all.
Yeah.
Only
when they in my party. If they in my party, they deserve to be disciplined. If they in my party, no, I can't see no wrong what they do.
That seems to be the case. Thank you for taking my call, Ms. Malcolm.
No worries. Thanks for calling. But that's exactly why we in this country, in this position we're in right now. That's exactly why we're here. I keep saying it. Two sides of the same coin. I find it amazing when people start throwing rock at one party, talking about, oh, this party is known for corruption, like the other party ain't got their own share of corruption. And if you believe that other party is squeaky clean as they would want you to believe, I got one really good sale for you on the Paradise Island Bridge. You don't buy it. Because if you believe that, you believe anything. They just as corrupt. Maybe even more so. They just a little smarter with theirs. Okay? But again, just because they did wrong and did not account for it, don't mean that should give this crew license to do wrong and not account for it. Because if the party leaders don't make the people account, if we as a people need to ask them to give account. We can't sit back and wait for that to come from their leaders, because clearly that ain't happening. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. So we the people, and y'all always hear Professor Thompson talk about it every Monday. How we need to put down our political differences and demand what is right for the good of the country. Because if we wait for the politicians to do it, we will be just like a pendulum, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Buying dreams every 5 years. So we the people have to demand better. no matter who sits in the seat. Whether they are a party we support or not should not make a difference. Because wrong is still wrong and right is still right, no matter what color you wear. And this is the message that our people don't seem to be willing to get. Case in point, we look at what happened on Bay Street yesterday. I can just go ahead and play the clip. And then we can talk about that. This is well, before I play the clip, I understand we have to call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Hi, you on the air?
Lady Malcolm, you sound kind of far. I know why, because you don't know me sound like that today.
Oh, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I could barely hear you. But
okay.
I am so happy today that you and the last caller put a political pundit in his place, because it for the likes of me, I don't know why the Bahamian people don't open their eyes and see what in the hell is happening to our country. They still keeping FNM and PLP and as if we ain't remember what happened, while the country is going straight to hell in a handbasket. We ain't standing up for no party at this point in our life. We standing up to try and save our country, Lady Malcolm. And these people still calling the show about what the FNM do and what the PLP do. My God, man. My goodness, man. When is the average really killing us? They don't know when to stand down.
Politics.
But you, pardon me?
I say politics. We will die for politics.
Lady Malcolm, I am serious. You got people, immigrants, all about in the bush in Bryland, all about in the bush, waiting to come out, all about on Paradise Island, all about around here on the Port Hill, all downtown. And they talking FNM and PLP. What they could do when the immigrants come out the bush and take over, I hope they could speak Mandarin or Patois or Creole. Because they really, really, really making me sick. Sick to the bone. Thanks for taking my call, Lady Malcolm.
Thank you for calling. Yeah. Yeah, that political Kool-Aid, strong. I know nobody's mixing that, but that's strong. But some people would rather see their children starve than to stand up against somebody in their party and say what you did was wrong. It's crazy. Anyhow, case in point, let's go to the clip from this protest yesterday. Let me play that for y'all.
Downtown was the scene of a double protest this morning as supporters of the Free National Movement called for the resignation of Immigration and Labor Minister Keith Bell, chanting that Bell got to go. In response to their demands, Progressive Liberal Party supporters also coming to stand in solidarity for Bell, wearing party paraphernalia. And as tempers flared between the supporters of the two major political parties, law and order was maintained by officers. For the last month, the opposition has constantly called for Bell's resignation, taking their demands to the Department of Immigration. This following Bell's admission to conducting an unorthodox citizenship, swearing at a funeral service. Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard spoke with reporters before the morning session of Parliament, emphasizing that the Davis-Cooper administration lacks credibility.
Who is telling the truth?
So do you think it's time for an overall shuffle of this cabinet?
We believe that there are a number of important resignations, and we believe that Keith Bell ought to go. We know that Alfred Sayers ought to go. And we know that Joe Beck Colby has a multiplicity of issues.
Now, as Mr. Bell made his way into the House of Assembly, the supporters shouted for his resignation. When we asked him how he felt, this is what he had to say.
I only wish to give my sympathy to the family of Paul Farquharson, who was one of my mentors. May his soul rest in peace. I have no comment.
An F&M supporter claiming to be from the Carmichael constituency that Bell represents state his displeasure with the minister's action.
He should resign. You can't be complacent and want to represent Carmichael. As a Southwest, you can't do it. He should go.
Meanwhile, a supporter of Bell suggests that Pintard should pay attention what's happening within his own camp before calling for Bell's resignation.
Adrian Gibson is a national disgrace engaged in illegality that is before the court. They ought to deal with that rather than come in here to deal with speculation. What has been illegal, what he has done? He has simply given an advice and followed directives. What is illegal? Nothing.
Oh, Lord have mercy upon this Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We need you, Lord. We need you bad. Because right is no longer right, and wrong is no longer wrong in this country. True north is not true north. Right depends on the color you wear and what side of the House of Assembly you're sitting on. So, if I wear red and I sit today on the opposition side, I can do no wrong. So even though somebody sitting right next to me is now before the courts for illegal acts allegedly, he ain't done nothing wrong. He innocent until proven guilty. And even though if I on the yellow side and I sit on the government side, that all of these alleged acts being brought to light by one of my own, who in his own mouth, out of his own mouth, said that what he was doing was unorthodox. No. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He ain't doing nothing illegal. Unorthodox, perhaps, but not illegal. And they ask him to step down. Now, here comes this whole situation with the Chinese connection. And one thing that Pintard said that I have to agree with is that the challenge with this whole situation now, in case you all were not aware, one of the challenges with this situation is the fact that we have a major problem in this country with human trafficking now. Major. If you didn't know, now you know. So you got a bunch of undocumented people in your country. You ain't know who they are. How do you know that they are victims of human trafficking if they ain't got no documents? How you could turn around and say, in spite of what your own people tell you, it's the right thing to do, I making a decision, we're not going to lock them up. We're not going to put them in the detention center. Even though your own people saying, this is not the right thing to do. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hello, Ms. Malcolm.
Hey, Professor.
I was just wanting to sit and listen to the show, but I thought I should call in after hearing the comments from the last few callers.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand the feeling of the Bahamian people, the feeling of helplessness, because basically some things are getting mixed up. One, party representation, that's one.
Mm-hmm.
Parliamentary representation. In party colors at the House of Assembly, where the parliament is in session. Why is that? Is that a political rally? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People haven't yet learned to distinguish the Parliament of the Bahamas, totally different from a political party. The particular individual that you mentioned has membership in a political party,
Mm-hmm.
but the individual also has membership in the House of Assembly. Just like you are
Right.
members of Barnabas Church, but you work the BBC.
Right.
That's why I draw these simple, basic analogies that people need to understand. You never get mixed up and say, I'm going to St. Barnabas Church Monday morning at 10 o'clock. You find yourself in BBC. And then Sunday morning at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whenever church, you're there at St. Barnabas Church, or any other church for that matter. I just use St. Barnabas as an example. But we seem not to get that the government of the Bahamas and the Parliament of the Bahamas has a responsibility according to the Constitution. Now, I listen to all of them talking. Not a single inkling or understanding of constitutional matters. That's how deep-rooted this thing is in the minds of the Bahamian people. They understand zero when it comes to the Constitution. The Constitution is your document to run a nation by, not a party platform. It's your Constitution. That is a sure foundation. We don't even have that in place. Only by the grace of God and the goodness of God, we've been able to hold up this parliamentary democracy over the last 50 years. It had nothing to do with the political party. Nothing to do at all. Because I had to go on air for 3 hours. I think it was 2 hours every day for 2 weeks on Global before the last election.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure that I got the Bahamian people to understand the importance of democracy, because once we lose that, there's no guarantee we'll get it again. None whatsoever. All you got to do is ask Sudan. Look at some other countries in Africa where we're trying to build relations with these people who are experimenting with democracy. Violent overthrows of government, assassinations. We want that in the Bahamas. Thousands are dead in Sudan now. First it was hundreds, now it's into the thousands. Millions are being displaced. We don't have those kind of numbers. We could be wiped out in a day, and nobody even knew we were there. So we are in a very unique position in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to protect what we have. That's what we should be showing the world. The world is so unstable. They can't keep their governments together. In spite of the problems we have in the Bahamas, we are showing the world an example that we ourselves are not even pushing. That's the irony about this. We're not looking at that positive example that we're showing the world. We have the world coming here, benefiting from it. We ourselves who created it, the Bahamian electorate, the Bahamian voter, they're the ones responsible for it, and God, for keeping that strong, stable stability in the country, in spite of our challenges with those who are in power to run our national debt. Now, we could do with that group. That's a simple matter. The Constitution has all of the answers in it, but we need to study that document, understand how to use the power in it. And people are crying every living day, making noise. And I'm not blaming them for doing this now, because I hear the cries all the time. The question I ask, what are you going to do about it? You're going to just be throwing ideas all around and saying who should do this and who should do that, instead of getting a solid document, the Constitution, which can guide you and lead you to build a country. Let me take one example. A national commitment to self-discipline. We can build a national program on that. That is a main plank in your Constitution to deal with the stability of the nation. No government has ever taught it. The government, they don't even practice. Because the people themselves are so unstable in the sense that they are wild in the country. I look at my own area. They don't even understand basic, fundamental law. Not constitutional law, they know nothing about that. But statute law, Ms. Malcolm. I see the problems every living day. The way how our people of color behave. And it's getting worse. And that's why you have these killings. People get so frustrated they go either burn down somebody's building. See how the fellow got scorched up in his face in the house just last night? Big argument in the house. The fella decided to cut up his face with a knife.
I hadn't heard about that.
Pardon?
Wow. I hadn't heard about that, no.
Yeah, it came on the air. It was on the radio stations.
Okay.
But the thing is that these are the kind of frustrations that occur when people do not understand basic, fundamental things about law because they're not being taught. The authorities who they elected to govern their national affairs have failed them miserably. Also, they keep fighting one another. I went to even report something to the police and they refused to take my complaint. But I will deal with them. I ain't got no problem with that. Because I know how to deal with them more effectively than they think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not no pushover. And I will show them I'm not no pushover. They will just have to learn it the hard way. But the thing is that our people need to understand all this anger, all this bitterness building up in them. Let's take that anger, that thing that you have inside of you, this frustration, let's turn it into positive so we can build the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There's a way to do it. The Constitution has all of the answers, not some, all of the answers to build a strong, stable nation called the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. We haven't reached there yet, but we got plenty of work to do. Thank you, Ms. Malcolm.
All right. Thank you for calling, Professor. You can always rely on the professor for good quality contribution to the discussion. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to continue on this Hot Topic Tuesday talking about alleged acts of impropriety, perhaps, at best, and calls for resignation surrounding the Minister of Immigration, Keith Bell, who yet again finds himself in the middle of a controversy as it relates to the execution of his duties as Minister of Immigration. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay tuned.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's a Hot Topic Tuesday, and the hot topic that we're dealing with is the Minister of Immigration, Keith Bell. All right, the telephone number to call, 3260271, 3260271, 3260272. 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271. 8010271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. Also on our YouTube channels. And speaking of channels, you can find us on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. Go ahead and download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. Or you can listen in the traditional way by radio on your FM dial here in New Providence. It's 99.5. And you can also check us out live via radio all the way out of Grand Bahama. And a huge welcome to our viewers and listeners from throughout the archipelago and around the world. So today's Hot Topic Tuesday. For those of you who tuned a little late, we are talking about all of this controversy surrounding the Minister of Immigration, Keith Bell, and his alleged performance as Minister of Immigration. For those of you who aren't aware of the latest developments, this goes beyond now the activities surrounding the issuance of a certificate of citizenship to the widow of a Haitian man at a funeral. But now, also thrown in the mix are 65 Chinese nationals who were apparently discovered staying at the closed Hilton Hotel. And when they were allegedly about to be taken into custody and held at the detention center, reports are that they were, that the immigration officials were told to, in essence, stand down by the Minister of Immigration. And as a result, memos were written in protest of that alleged instruction that had been handed down. So yet again, the Minister of Immigration finds himself embroiled in controversy as it relates to what appears to be his propensity towards unorthodox behavior as a minister is expected to do. Before I go to that last clip of Menace, who is questioning the timeline as it relates to the Haitian affair. Let's look at a couple of your comments. These comments coming in by way of Facebook. Loretta says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. Always enjoy listening to you. Thank you for being the voice of the voiceless." Maria is watching. Hi, Maria. Welcome. Sandra says, "This is first about saving our country, people, not party. We now have people coming out of the bush, heading for the airport after you pass our road and every other bush in our country." Wow. Sandra says, "Further, drive around the island and past the big bush area. Keep up the colors and see if you have any country to save by next election." Okay, so I just want to say that with immigration, although this Chinese thing apparently happened from January, well, that's beside the point if you ask me. But as much as Bahamians have started to demonstrate how frustrated and fed up they are with regard to this whole question of illegal immigration in this country, I don't believe that I'm the only person who feels very disheartened, disillusioned to hear that the person who is supposed to be responsible for protecting our borders, the very minister whose responsibility that falls under, is committing alleged acts, as what we're hearing. It's very disheartening, very frustrating that you would have people in these various ministries. We hear more than enough about the people in these departments who are doing wrong. We always hear about them. But now you have people who are trying to do their jobs, trying to do the right thing to protect our borders, and are being frustrated in their attempts, allegedly, by the minister who was supposed to be responsible. You can't make this up. Now, again, he says give him until Wednesday, and he can answer all questions on Wednesday in the House of Assembly. Well, I think everybody will be tuning in to hear what he got to say, because you could justify some of this, especially with documentation now being leaked into the public space. This ain't looking good. One of my favorite classic shows is I Love Lucy, or the Lucille Ball Show. And one of the things her Cuban husband used to say whenever she find herself in trouble, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do." Well, everybody can be tuned in the House Assembly tomorrow to hear this explanation from Bell, because this ain't looking good, Minister Bell. This ain't looking good at all. And one needs to question now, what next? What we can hear next? Because this looking more and more like a pattern every day. And we've been hearing the allegations about it being a pattern, but you don't run with everything you hear. But this ain't looking good. It ain't looking good for you as an individual. It certainly ain't looking good for your party. Let me go to this next clip. In this clip, one Hubert Menace is asking questions with regard to the timeline based on what the minister says took place as it relates to the Haitian issue. Let me go ahead and play that clip.
Honorable Minister of Immigration confirmed for this Honorable House that he was physically present in the Honorable House, this Honorable House, for the presentation of the budget debate on the 21st of May, 2023.
It's a question that video evidence of the House of Assembly and its register would confirm. The fact that the Immigration Minister, Keith Bell, was in fact in country on the day in question. But the man at the heart of the controversy, according to former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis, died on May 29th. But here's what Bell told reporters back on June 27th.
And you'd have seen in a note that I'd have sent, he would have called me while he was in the hospital. I was in Switzerland at the time. When I returned, he was being buried within the week on that Saturday. And so in those circumstances, he called me on his deathbed and said that if he would want his life sworn in as a citizen in his presence. Unfortunately, he died before I got back from Switzerland.
Dr. Minnis is alleging that Bell, in this regard, misled the Bahamian people.
The records are here. Question 29. It is evident that there's a complete disconnect, and we don't use the word lie, but dishonesty. Would the Honorable Minister of Immigration kindly inform this Honorable House of the date in June 2023 and the time that he received a call from Mr. Racine, who had been dead since May 29th during this trip to Switzerland in June of this year?
Minnis adds that it was near impossible for Bell to make 2 trips to Switzerland during that same time and have a conversation with a dead man.
What that would mean, the records reflect he was here on the 31st. The man died on the 29th. He received a call. So for this to happen, the member would have had to be in Switzerland, run back here on the 31st, then mark present, and fly back out the following day. Now, the records are clear.
While Bell reported last week that he plans to address immigration matters in the House of Assembly on Wednesday, Dr. Minnis is calling on Prime Minister Philip Davis to act now.
Would the Honorable Prime Minister appreciate the significance of the breaches committed by this Minister of Immigration and their far-reaching implications? Take the honorable course of action to protect our constitutional democracy by terminating the Honorable Minister of Immigration from the Cabinet.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry. I really wait for this explanation tomorrow because, again, I saying like crazy about the messenger, but if Minnis is correct in what he is saying, Mr. Bell say he got a call from the man on his deathbed. So how he get a call from the man on his deathbed if the man was already dead? I need somebody to explain that to me, please. Perhaps did he use the Long Island medium? You know, if you said he's here from the dead, maybe he used one of them. I forget what the little boy did, the little white boy who said he got a TV show. So he's here from the dead. He'd be scribbling on the paper. Maybe he was in Switzerland at the time. And he met with Bell while he was in Switzerland. And he said, "Oh, this Haitian man is coming through. And I have a word for him, for you, from beyond the grave." I need a little explaining, little explanation. And yeah, I know you say you will develop, provide that tomorrow. And we are looking forward to that. Because you got some explaining to do. And, I don't know about the rest of y'all. But like I say, this really ain't looking too good right now. the more and more we hear about this, the more and more we have to wonder what in the world is going on. I would love to hear from you guys on this, because it ain't looking good. It really, really, really ain't looking too good. Now, I know strange things happen, um, and maybe this one of them occasions where something very strange happened, and somehow the timeline get mixed up some kind of how, and maybe in your mind you were a little confused. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I really think you got some explaining to do, and I'm looking forward to hearing what this explanation is, because it ain't looking good. It ain't looking good, and you've had several days now to come up with this explanation. So quite frankly, I really hope that this explanation could somehow bring some clarity to the situation. Because if not, that would mean that you have been misleading the House of Assembly and by extension misleading the people of the Bahamas. I would hate to believe that that is the case. You know, when I was growing up, my mother used to tell me, if you ain't got a good memory, you should always tell the truth. No, don't get me wrong. She used to tell the truth all the time. But she said, in order for you to be a liar, you got to have a good memory. It's just easier to tell the truth. You ain't got to remember what happened if it really happened. You ain't got to remember the details of a story you concocted if it really happened. And I ain't saying the minister lying. I ain't saying he ain't tell the truth. I just making an observation. It's easy to tell the truth. Because when you're making things up, you got to remember all those stories you make up. And this is why when people try to swing you with these stories, sometimes the versions don't add up because it's only so much you can remember at a certain time. And sometimes there's forget little details here and there. And the next thing you know, you got three different versions of the same story. And you're trying to decipher what part of that true and what ain't true. We have a call on the line. Call her back up to GPS.
Lady Malcolm, I'm sorry for calling back with you jogging my memory.
Okay.
Two very important points. I hear you say it yet, but you probably can say it a little later down.
What's that?
With the funeral incident, the nation's chief side with Bell and say he ain't seen nothing but Bell do wrong. Now, if he did check like minutes, then he would have known Bell was either right here or somewhere where he ain't supposed to be. If the nation chief before he side with Bell, he stick his neck out with Bell. The second thing is that our PLP caller would call talking about he ain't do nothing wrong. How in the world Bell can explain lying on the deputy prime minister? Because he called the woman, I was telling the woman, the deputy prime minister instructed him, and the deputy prime minister say, no, he ain't know nothing about that. Thanks for taking the call again.
Like I say, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. Yeah, everybody wait there this explanation tomorrow. Boy, this better be good, Bell. That's all I can tell you. This better be good. Because it ain't looking good. Ain't looking good. Ain't looking good at all. The thing is, what y'all need to realize is when you have been given the privilege of holding a high office where you have committed yourself to serve the people, you really should leave your arrogance at the door. Leave your ego at the gate before you walk in. Leave that alone. Because some of y'all is allow y'all arrogance and y'all ego to run y'all right up on brakes. I ain't calling no name and I ain't taking no blame. Humble yourself if you offer yourself to serve in such a capacity. Because your ego and your arrogance gonna run you up on brakes for every single time. What preceded the fall? Word of God don't lie. Pride. You gotta stop the foolishness. Because what y'all need to realize, it's them days over where y'all, there's so many people in the past who offered themselves for office. They thought they was above the law. But people ain't like no more. Like, yeah, you got your cronies. But the Haman people ain't on that run no more. You're going to have to give an account. Remember that. We can take a break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all. Schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy, with mailboat US addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this beautiful, now getting a little overcast, but still beautiful Tuesday afternoon. It's still very warm, so the fact that the clouds coming out may have things to cool down a little bit. So we can always welcome anything that's cool, that'll cool things off for us. All right. So today is being treated as a Hot Topic Tuesday. And, the topic of discussion today is one Minister Keith Bell, Minister of Immigration. And I would love to hear from you guys. The telephone numbers to call are 326-0271, 326-0271. 326-0272, 326-0272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 801-0271, 801-0271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm page, as well as the official Global 99.5 FM page. You can also find us on our YouTube channels. And we are on Cable Bahamas channel 974. Also, you can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smartphone or device and check us out there. And you can tune into radio, whether you are in Grand Bahama, New Providence, or anywhere coming up with the Bahamas where you can hear us. 99.5 on the FM dial. Welcome, one and all. Especially welcome to you guys who are watching the show from or listening from outside the country. I really do appreciate your support. Thank you so much for helping to make GPS what it is. All right, let me go to a couple of your comments, and hopefully we'll get some more calls on this whole situation. Bertha says that's an old photo minute show. Well, here's the thing, Bertha. That clip from the news showed video, not the news agency pulled up, not minutes. Video. So, no, dial. That's video. That showed him actually being here. Okay. Kentaro says, I honestly don't know why we complaining. We sat back 50 years now crying and scared. Yeah. I ain't gonna argue with you there. Sandra says, even if he was or was not on the island, how important is this man that he's calling our immigration minister to do him a favor by making his wife a citizen before his death? You going for us, Sandra? How important is he to get citizenship to begin with? Because I still waiting on an explanation as to what qualified him for citizenship. I still waiting on that. So you going far as to him asking the favor about his life insurance. I want to know what qualify him to get citizenship. That's the first question we need to be asking. I ain't think they answered that yet. But anyhow, maybe they answered and I just wasn't paying attention. Maybe I missed that one. Somebody can tell me if that's an explanation that I missed somehow. Wolverine says, change is here. Bahamian says, sitting back no more. Glenn Rhodes says, you have to laugh out loud. Child, Glenn, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. Quintero says, the foreigners got more pull with the government than the citizens. Dillis says, their brain is emotionally damaged, like the little boy said in Long Island to the minister when they visited. Okay. Sandra says Brave is going to say he did nothing illegal. Dillis says truth shall prevail. The truth shall set you free. That's the Bible. That's what Dillis says. And Dillis says he corrupt too. Now I'm not sure who you're referring to when you say he is corrupt too. Okay. We got Vernon saying the question must also be asked: what the hell is he supposed to be doing in Switzerland, stashing the billion people's money? Just asking him. Come on now. Dillis says they're rope pop. Wolverine is saying this is distracting from the housing and unemployment. There won't be a new hospital or prison. The crisis, the uptick of health issues plaguing the hospitals, the fact that all these contracts being issued, but there has been no improvement to Bahamians' lives. Okay. Let's see. Any more comments? Yeah. Frank is asking any headway on the carbon credit show, Michelle? All right. Not yet. Henry says elite us and engage us, help us to face the facts and take our heads out of the sand, look up and see what's going on. Oh, you must mean enlighten us, say. Enlighten us? Henry, that's what you're trying to say? Enlighten us and engage us, help us to face the facts and take our heads out of the sand, look up and see what's going on in the country. Okay. All right. For those of you who tuned in late, we are treating today as a Hot Topic Tuesday. And the hot topic of the day is the actions of our Minister of Immigration. For those of you who are not aware, we're not just talking about what started this whole thing about the minister's unorthodox behavior, but now there's another controversy brewing about the minister's involvement in stopping some Chinese nationals from being taken into custody. Now, somebody said to me, boy, Michelle, they going after Bell because Bell revealed something that they did wrong. So now they're trying to destroy his credibility. Well, let me put it this way. You may be right. Maybe that's why they're going after him, but I can't really say they're going after him because if you're not doing anything wrong, then they don't have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Ammunition. But if you're giving them the ammunition, if you're doing something wrong, then how can I turn around and say, oh, they going after you because you went after them? If you didn't give them anything to go after you with, they wouldn't be able to go after you. But if they know they got something to come after you with, then how I could say, oh, they only doing this because you come out? No, don't give them ammunition. Don't give them the ammunition to stop it. Boy, I tell you, this anyway. Henry says, keep up the awesome job that you're doing. Kudos to you. We need to have this mature conversation and look at the man in the mirror. We need to stop putting politics ahead of common sense when it comes to protecting us as a people. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. It doesn't make sense. Because don't you realize that by cloaking wrongdoing, whether it is PLP or FNM or COI or whoever or whomever, when it comes to our national interests, you cutting off your nose to spite your face. You hurting yourself by not calling a spade and requiring more. Or at the very least, even if you don't want to require more, at the very least require right. Even if you want to say, well, I don't expect them to go above and beyond, even if they just do the basics of what is right. My God, if you're supposed to be responsible for immigration, why are you telling the people not to lock people up who are breaking the immigration laws? What kind of stupidness that is? Make it make sense. That's the one job you got to do. Is protect this nation. And you can turn around and allegedly frustrate the very people who are trying to do their job? And you're supposed to be in charge of them? Lucy, you got some splaining to do. Somebody make this make sense. I don't know what they just put in that Kool-Aid when they walk in the House of Assembly. They just put something in their Kool-Aid to make them believe that they could do this kind of foolishness and get away with it. Gotta be either something the Kool-Aid they drinking or they spray something in the air. In the parliament, they spray something in the air in there. And when they breathe that in, some of them that just go to their head. And they just lose their head. Something. I just try to find an explanation. Because you can't be this ridiculous. You can't be this arrogant. Your ego can't be this big for you to think that you could do this foolishness and ain't nobody can call you out on it. You can't be that arrogant. It got to be something in the air. Somebody had to slip something in that Kool-Aid. Unbelievable. So, like the rest of the nation, we waiting for this explanation tomorrow. And it better make sense. Don't come here with no smoke and mirrors trying to swing nobody because there ain't nobody on that run. Don't come here trying to compare apples and oranges and expect me to just accept that. No, you better come straight. You better come straight. Don't come here trying to pivot and point. No. You say you come in Wednesday with your explanation? You better come with one serious explanation. It's got to make sense. Don't come trying to swing nobody with this explanation. Make sure every I dot, and every T cross. Don't come here insulting my intelligence. That's all I say. Because sometimes when y'all come with these explanations, I just really wonder if y'all think we that stupid to buy the foolishness what is becoming a your mouth. Don't come here expecting us to believe what you say just because it comes with your mouth, even if it ain't make sense. Come straight. Come straight, Bill. Come straight. I'm telling you now, don't come there tomorrow talking no foolishness. Because ain't nobody gonna be on your run with that. You got plenty splaining to do. Bertha says senseless. All kind of explaining. Louise says sipping margarita. No man, they don't sip margarita in the house. Maybe after they leave the house, but not in the house. But I think they put something in that Kool-Aid. Kentiro say, tell them, Miss Malcolm. Kentiro, my people tired of the foolishness. Here's my thing. I say nobody perfect, right? I know what y'all, but I ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. Far from it. I'm not expecting anybody to be perfect, because if we was waiting for perfect people to elect into that House of Assembly, they wouldn't be able to make quorum. Okay? I expecting perfection. Nobody is. We all make mistakes. We all human. But when you seem to have a pattern, when you seem to let your arrogance and your ego fill up your head so much, when you start believing your own hype and start making these stupid decisions because you believe in your own hype, then we got a problem. Ain't nobody looking for perfection, but my God, make some attempt to be accountable for your actions. And in this day and age of social media and smart devices, everybody camera and phone in their hand right now is a camera. You got to be an idiot to believe that you could get away with things without somebody recording you. You can't believe that. So no, we're not looking for perfection, because only one perfect man walked the earth and they crucify him. But my God, at least make an attempt to be accountable, eh? My God. Sandra says, it seems to me like these ministers go, I guess you meant to our House of Assembly to do their own thing, I'm going to say, because we don't want foul language. Not thinking about the long-term consequences on our country this is affecting tourism negatively. Henry says, it's all about making sense. Bring them back down to earth. They have left the earth as if they're God. Oh, man, they sipping my Kool-Aid, but somebody spiked that Kool-Aid and they ain't tell them. Howard Johnson says, well, see what the Abaco MB say, that's the next one. He's PM on that island. That's the next one. That's another one. How you gonna let that come out your mouth? I mean, like these lose common sense. Wow, it's a serious thing, you know. And it's caused people lose their mind. Because common sense should tell you, die something that you come out your mouth. But oh, when you're arrogant and you believe you're untouchable. My God, great God from Zion. Well, this says, come clean. Kentara says, PLP famous for hindering the efforts of immigration. We mustn't forget broker situation. You forget Brown from McCarthy situation. I keep telling y'all, stop trying to make this a political thing. You forget what happened to Brown? When he was trying to do the same thing and they tell him step down, you forget it. That was under the FNM. So stop this PLP FNM foolishness. Stop it. Y'all can't learn it. My God. Oh, it is frustrating. You're refusing to put this political foolishness down, even though it's hurting you and your children. Howard says some of them believe they're gods, but this is a different time. Danico says, good day to all. Mr. Bell broke the immigration rules of both countries, not just ours. It is voice of him. He didn't even read the manual of the immigration department. Too much violations on his part. He should have known better. He needed to resign. Sandra says, Dr. D, average minister, Nabucco, another who should have resigned. Well, listen, Anyway, you know what? We could take a break. I can read one more comment and then we're going to break. Howard says, I blame us, the Bahamian people. We put them up on a pedestal. You ain't got no disagreement from me there, Howard. No disagreement from me on that one. But we don't seem to realize that just how we put them there, we could take them down. We don't seem to realize that that's not only our ability, but that's our responsibility to hold these people to account. We don't seem to get that. We too busy whatever what color you're wearing. We only could see when another party, what our party do wrong, but we can't see when we doing the same thing always. And we want to know how we get here. We can take this break. We'll be back after these responsibilities.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels, so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, pinch, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Track Life, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
It's Global Radio 99.5.
All right, welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Let me read a couple of the messages that just came in to me from WhatsApp. Good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm. Have you ever heard the song You Got Me Going in Circles? I have. That's exactly how the politicians of this country as it relates to the Bahamian people supporting their party. FNM and PLP is the merry-go-round, and the Bahamian people are the ones being taken for the ride. My Lord. Another message says, regarding the Bell situation, all I say is, oh, what a tangle where we weave when first we practice to deceive. Plenty of deception going on here, and in general, I might add, since. Okay. Another one says, he can use what Davis said. I misspoke. Another one says, there are two games being played on the Bahamian people here. With checkers, we see the obvious need for Bell to step down. But in chess, note how the FNM who has the power is not agitating for a commission of inquiry, how the PM is silent or away. The united PLP FNM will never really correct itself. All weapons still trying to be used, but we can all see. That's a message coming in there. What's up? Another one says, Michelle, seems like this is a rogue government. Only the citizens coming together without biases can solve the issues in the Bahamas. Agreed. All right, another message says, maybe the mindsets will make a paradigm shift if the talk shows are renamed action shows. Oh, boy. Another one says, hi, Lady Malcolm. We only have ourselves to blame for the way these people carry on. After these serious scandals, there was a motorcade of support for him. Just saying. Well, they say the definition of insanity is if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. Sometimes I think that we as a collective have gone insane because we keep doing the same things over and over and over, and acting shocked when we get the same result. If you repeatedly show these people, and when I say these people, I'm talking about all sides of the political divide. This is not just applicable to one party over the next. If we keep showing these people over and over and over again that they could do whatever they want to do, right, wrong, or in between, and we can be willing to look the other way, stick our head in the sand, pretend it ain't happened, justify, throw blows if need be, just to keep them there, to continue to mistreat us the way they're mistreating us, then we deserve what we get. Let me give you all a word of advice, people. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. And if we don't somehow negotiate a better outcome for ourselves by demanding more of the persons that we elect to work on our behalf, then we get just what we deserve. That on us. That on us. If we aren't willing to demand accountability, I don't care what color you wear, then we have negotiated to be treated just how we're being treated. That on us. Because we can't expect these people to police themselves. I think that's been very unrealistic. For 50 years, we have shown that that don't work. And if we keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, maybe all of us need to go visit the pink porch. Time gone, it's 4 o'clock, I gotta get out of here. Tomorrow is Wellness Wednesday. So tomorrow we're gonna be talking about a matter of importance to your health. For those of y'all who don't think that important, y'all better try hard, man. You only got this one body to live in on this side of the earth. You better try. Pay attention to Wellness Wednesday. Find out how you can keep yourself healthy. Because if you're going to make a difference in this nation, we need you to be healthy. All right? So let's do this together. Until then, God willing, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, 2 to 4. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Michelle Malcolm. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those
Hear from Steve Harvey.